everyone. Thanks for joining. So today I'm actually able to have a guest speaker on. Eric, I saw a LinkedIn post that you did a couple weeks back that talked about and showed a really cool like calendar slicer that actually leveraged a matrix table, but it was built and designed to look like a calendar table, and you could pick
Yeah,
any particular day or the week column, or yeah, either day of the week or the actual week of month and things like that, and it worked really well as essentially a native slicer rather than having to go to the custom visual route. So, thought there would be a great opportunity to have you come on and maybe talk about the benefits of this design, and then also show people how the cake is made, so to speak, and have us go through a demo where we can build it out. So, thank you for coming on and doing this.
thank you for having me, Reed. It's a pleasure.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's actually based. I saw a another LinkedIn post where a guy called Andy Gribble, who's doing
Mhm.
a lot of Tableau work, uh, actually created a, a similar, not a matrix, but showed a table and so I can do that in Power BI if we use the matrix. But there are some caveats doing it. But yeah,
Right.
this is
Mhm.
actually quite fun to build and quite easy and gives some flexibility.
Exactly, and
So yeah,
it leverages just native features, which is nice. I think the further we get with everything that Miguel Meyer's team is doing with all of the core visuals, I think the more and more robust these native visuals become.
absolutely. And the introduction of visual calculations, etc., also gives them some extra flexibility. And I've actually used that in the matrix here as
Nice.
well. So yeah, the principle is that in the report you can pick any month, and I've done it so the user can only single select. And then when they click September, I have a subtitle that retrieves the value selected, and you will be able to see the week number and the weekdays appear. And yeah, the 1st of September, I've added a tooltip as well. So when you click on this, we will filter the visuals on the page as well. So we can click on the individual cell. We can click on all the Thursdays in September, or we could select a week of September and see the sales for that period. And of course, we can, if we use control, also multi-select dates in the calendar that we have here. So yeah, and I've added a tooltip and the and
Yep.
conditional formatting of the cells using how large the sales is on the dates of
I
the
like the
individual
integrated
dates.
tooltip as well. Just like it's report page tooltip that was added with some additional visuals and other stuff.
Yeah, with some yeah, just to show this is the selected date and what are the sales value and sales unit and average price. So it's
Yep.
simply the new KPI card that I've used on a report page here on a tooltip page and just make it sure that it uses the whole space. And I've modified the size of the tooltip canvas as well. So you can see it's a custom size and give this rectangular look as well.
Oh, very nice.
But should we have a look at how you can actually build it?
Absolutely, yes, please.
Yeah. Um, so let's add a new page and start by adding a slicer where we could pick the month. So I will choose a month here, and now this is the name of the month. But so I have this in my date in my calendar table as well called year month, and we'll just delete that one. And because we only want 1 month to be able to select it, we change it to single select
Yep.
and choose a drop down instead. And I prefer to sort my this in descending, so the latest month is at the top,
Hmm.
And because I have sales, or my calendar table includes sales that or dates that are not sales, including sales, we'll just put it as visual level filter as well. So not is blank, not is not blank, and that should hopefully give us only the month where we have uh, sales.
There we go. Perfect.
Yeah. Uh, so that's as the next step. We'll add a matrix, and on the rows we will add the week number. Uh, I am using a calculated column called week. And now we will see that ISO weeks for this is 44 to 48. And on the columns, I will add a column. If we added the day of week, right, we would have a long description up here. And I want it to be as narrow as possible. So instead of day of week, I have added a calculated column as well called day of week, where I have the first abbreviation of the week of the day name.
Now,
Yeah,
curiously, Tuesday and Thursday have the same value, and if you do a sort by that, and as a
yeah.
1 or as a 2 and a 4, that would cause a problem because it's sorting one value by multiple values. So, is there a special hidden character in there, or how do you make those distinct and sorting in the right order?
Well, what I've done, one way of doing it is actually to use tabular editor. Okay, so in order to have each of the abbreviations visible, so the two S, one for Saturday and one for Sunday, I can specify that the day of week that I'm using as a D, that it uses the property called group by columns. And I can specify that by choosing the columns that I want this value, the S, to be grouped by. And when I'm using the day of week short, the short will contain sun and sat. But as I specify this will then give us two S's in our column headers. Does that make sense?
Yep, absolutely. No, and it's a nice technique that certainly can't be done directly in Power BI, but it lets you have non-unique values, but then transform them into unique values using the group by columns option.
Yeah,
That's really cool.
absolutely. Uh,
It's the equivalent almost of
so that,
dynamic formatting for a measure. The back end is one set of data, which is month or which is week short, but the displayed formatting just looks different. It's like basically having two layers, similar to in my mind to like a measure value versus the measure formatting.
yeah, and I actually first started out thinking, yeah, how could I put in characters after? But then came up with this idea, having using the group by columns instead, because I had the values right.
Yep.
Um and then the sorting, of course, is based on the day number. So if we look
Yep.
at the date here, we have sorted that by day of week using the Monday here in Europe. We have Monday as the first
Mhm.
date. So I'm sorting it by that. So if I chose that one, I would, it didn't finish validation. I could change it so it started by Saturday instead.
Okay. Nice.
Now, in order to put in the date or the day number in the matrix, we need to put in a measure. And so we need to have a measure that calculates the first date. So I've added a calculation or a measure called calDate that just takes the first date in my date table. So when I add that to my to my matrix, you can see that first of all I get totals, and I get the individual date in each of the cells.
And could you
So
do
now I
like
have
just a
November.
max of the day of month as well or something?
Yeah, but I'll show you another trick in order to get the right formatting of this. Because
Mhm.
one way we could actually do to let's just format this using the D up
Per
here.
day. Yep.
Yeah, but that doesn't really solve my issue, as you can see, right? Because
Normally, I
it
believe
apparently
you
doesn't respect.
you have to refresh your visuals. So if you open up the
uh,
performance analyzer, go to view.
I'll just I'll just do like this. No, yeah,
Yeah, if you go to the view tab, no, then go to the
and
so
back
if you
again.
go to the view tab at the top, on the report layer,
Ah, sorry. Yeah,
view tab,
yeah,
and
yeah.
open up the performance analyzer. Either way, and then
Stop.
record refresh
Yeah,
visuals.
and then do the
Interesting.
formatting. Yeah,
Yeah, when I
but
change the formatting, it caches it. It doesn't refresh the visual. So that's is it not just accepting your date? Oh, you had a
I'll
dynamic.
just
Okay, interesting.
yeah, I'll just do like and then no, not this one. And then let's do the. No, you don't really. Let's do it like this. Now we have years in here, and then we choose D, and now we have.
Okay,
Let's stop that.
there we
But
are.
yeah, there we go. Right. But I actually just let's also hide the totals because we don't want that. So I will hide the column totals and row subtotals, and we are getting a bit closer. And then we can look for uh, auto size here and do like this.
Hmm.
And we have the formatting. And then you'll say, I want the date aligned to the right, right? Right, right, right. Now that will give you an issue. Because if we look at values, you don't have any alignment here, right? So we can't align these to the right.
I think if you go to specific column, maybe there we are.
Ah, you have it there, and we could also do it on the column or the column headers and say we want the header alignment to the right or center as well.
Nice.
Another way is actually to use a visual calculation. So instead of now in the cal date, we have the date, right? It's
Hmm.
formatted, it's just showing the date, but we could just create a calculated column and then say day and refer to the cal date we have in the visual. And that will give us the same,
Yep.
right? And we could modify the calculation even. You can see we have two decimals, so we could format this as uh, text, or we could add 00 if we wanted a 0 in front. So let's just do the add. And now it's a text,
Okay.
and we can hide. So that's another way of doing it. And then we could
Well, I guess like,
this.
is there any reason to do that? You have two calculations when one would just work, right?
It's just one would work, but if we wanted to use this measure for other stuff for some
Ah,
reason
okay, gotcha.
and didn't want it formatted like this, we could
Mm,
switch this one back to the short date,
yep, yep.
and
Okay,
then when we look at the values that it generates, it's a date. So this measure can now be reused in other places in your report.
nice. Okay.
Um, Yeah, now we can filter it by week or filter it by day of week, and we can modify the. If you don't want ISO week to say here, we could actually just modify the name and add a space in here, and we have no header of the first column. And then we can, on our values, we can add let's see, where do we have now? You might look for how do I make a conditional formatting now, because I just added the date, right? And I don't have any chances of formatting the values. There's no conditional formatting here, right?
You should be able to, I think in the format menu, if you go down to the cell elements.
Yes. So if we go to specific column and cell elements,
There you go. Yep.
then we can pick the series and choose the background color. Now it just uses as from 0 to whatever, and then we could add the sales value as what we want it to highlight, and empty value should not be formatted. So the the date here shouldn't be formatted, and we could make it even darker at the end. Now that should then you should think about how the text, of course, should be
Well, there's
formatted
one
as
quick little
well.
trick what you can do is go
Yeah.
to font color, turn that on, and then make a rule to say that base it off of sales, and we'll turn it into rules, and select the sales value. Same one basically, and then you'll make two rules. Like, if it's you're basically wanting to do the percentage of. So I'd say like let's say 65%. If it's greater than equal to 65% of the max value,
Oh,
uh,
yeah.
and less than 100%, or less than or equal to 100%. Should be yeah. So less than or equal 100%, and color that white. And
Yeah.
then I think it should default to black for the other one. Let's see.
Let's
If
see.
not, you can add it. There you go.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, so you just need a little binary flip. And wherever you pick it, like if you notice that there's some colors where it's still too dark and you're using black, drop that to
Yeah. Yeah.
60 or 55. But that little binary flip actually helps you see them really easily.
Yeah. In my demo here, I sort of use some lighter colors
Yep,
to shade it, thereby
exactly.
making it better, or another way of visualizing.
Hmm.
And now, yeah, it's just a matter of resizing and test whether it works on.
You can immediately see too that they're not open on Sundays. They don't, or better said, they don't make any sales on Sundays. Really,
No.
it's a Monday through Saturday company.
Yeah. Yeah. And then in order to add a tooltip, yeah, we need uh, uh, to create a tooltip page. So I'll just add another page and go to Canvas settings and specify this as a tooltip. And then what should the tooltip be on? And I'll just put in the date here, and I'll put in the calendar date here as a. Let's also change the canvas setting to not have a background, and this should be a new KPI card. Remove the title, so now, and then do some other formatting,
Yeah, yeah,
and then
exactly.
we can, yeah, and then we can on the matrix here, say on our properties, go to tooltips, turn it on, choose the, now it's page 2, and when we then move
And I
over the
think if
element,
as long as you keep it to auto, I think it should also auto attach too because you're using the
yeah,
same date field, right? Or is it a different date
yeah,
field?
it's the same.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. I prefer to control what is happening on my tooltips. So,
Yeah, same.
but if we choose auto, we should you'll see that because we don't have date here.
Oh, because it's not the actual date. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. Uh, Now we can use page two, and then we could add all sorts of information on this
Mhm.
tooltip page, and of course resize it to a smaller. So if we didn't want it as high, we could go to custom and then say I only want it to be 160, or that might be too too tall. And now we
I
have
get
a
the general
tooltip.
idea with that. The
Sure,
rest of it's just kind of an artistic input where people can put any cards that they want to on there, and what you'll get is that information
yeah,
just filtered down to the specific dates.
absolutely.
Yep. Oh, very cool. The only downside that I can think of this is there's no sticky filters with cross filtering, but otherwise, like it gives you nearly the experience that you'd want to have for any of those, and the interactions to be able to quickly slice and dice by date periods or single dates for any other
Yeah.
corresponding visuals you have on your page.
As you know, you typically have a sort of a next month uh, button that you could click on. That's so I tried to find a way to now if am in June 22 and I wanted 1 month go to the next month, is there some way that I could do that? But I
Mhm.
haven't found a solution for that. Uh,
You'd need likely, so you'd want to be able to select a month and see 2 months, current and next month.
Yeah, no, actually, just if you compare this to the a month selected down here, you have these buttons to go to the next month. If you can see my,
Oh, you just want it up and down to be able
yeah,
to go to next.
yeah,
You'd almost need something like the play axis slicer.
yeah, I tried that, but yeah, you can't. It wants to play, right? So I can't really. Then I have to stop it.
Oh, okay,
uh,
that's fair.
so that doesn't work out. So if somebody out there knows a custom visual that can sort of index base our selected month here, that would be nice.
That's fair. Okay. No, this is awesome. But yeah, I like the creative solution, and it continues to impress me the amount of things that we have available for the matrix table, where it can be used for so many different things. Especially in its grid-like format. So
Yeah,
it's a powerful visual tool when formatted correctly.
yeah. One thing that
Mhm.
I prefer is actually to use the row padding down here, so it adds a little extra space.
Yep,
uh, so it's not that it makes it easier to pick the individual cells, right?
ah, yeah,
And
okay,
then
that's fair.
yeah, but
Super cool.
yeah, quite nice, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you for the walkthrough and everything with this, Eric. I think there's a lot of
Yeah,
really clever and useful implementations of conditional formatting, report tooltips, report page tooltips, and a lot of other stuff that goes into make it a very clever use of the matrix table into an interactive period slicer that's essentially calendar adjacent. So I appreciate you coming on and sharing all that information today. I think this will be helpful for a lot of people.
hope so. At least it was fun to build, and hopefully others can use it as well.
Absolutely. And for people watching the video, feel free to drop any use cases that you might have for it down here and comments and suggestions, any thoughts you might have or ways that you might change or improve it. Those are always welcome. So drop that down below into the comments. And then, Eric, otherwise, thank you so much for coming on and looking forward to having you back on next time. Please don't forget to like, comment, or share this video. Now, if this is your first time to my channel, or you want to see more of these awesome videos, please click that subscribe and notification button. Also, feel free to show your support by becoming a channel member. Last but not least, you can download the file for today's video from my blog files page using the link down below. So until next time.